Coming up next, new developments in the Israel-Hamas war, including what the U.S. is asking Israel to do. Plus, a unique place in Israel that bridges the gap between Jews and Arabs through art.
By art, you can forget all the fights and all the arguments.
Our international reporting team paid a visit there. And a deadly fiery accident closes a major Pennsylvania highway. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Tim Rogers.
And I'm Angelica Rubin. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. We begin with breaking news. A Penn State University vice president has been arrested and charged with strangling someone. He's now on leave from the university. Reporter Olivia Jean is live on the University Park campus with details. Olivia?
Penn State's interim vice president for information technology here at University Park faces charges of strangulation and harassment. He was arrested in Patton Township on Sunday. Keith Brodegum has been in this current role for just 4 months, but he's worked at Penn State since 2014. He is 44 years old. Now, the details surrounding the allegations are not yet available. Court documents show a preliminary hearing scheduled for tomorrow in magisterial court. We asked the university about the case, and they provided this statement. It reads, quote, "We are aware of the serious charges against Keith Brodegum. He has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the hearing. As interim VP, his role has been to oversee Penn State IT and provide leadership to 1,200 IT professionals across campuses, colleges, and administrative units." Live in University Park, I'm Olivia Jean. Back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Now the latest on the Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. is advising Israel to delay an expected ground invasion to allow more time to negotiate the release of hostages taken by Hamas. At the same time, Israeli forces have ramped up airstrikes in Gaza, and the death toll is rising rapidly. Hamas freed 2 more hostages, but in the meantime, a third small aid convoy entered into Gaza yesterday.
A group called Penn State Students for Justice in Palestine and other organizations at University Park are holding a week of events in State College. According to an Instagram post, the groups are demanding to end the siege on Gaza now. The events locally started with a vigil on Sunday, and next up is a protest rally on Wednesday at the Allen Street gates.
Amid the bitter divide between Jews and many Arabs, a theater company in Tel Aviv is working to bridge that gap by producing shows in both Hebrew and Arabic. Reporter Olivia Hogan from our Penn State International reporting team visited the theater several years ago to show what they do.
For most Jews, Arabic is the language of the enemy. So I think the moment they hear Arabic, they think it's a suicide bomber that's come to attack them.
Within the walls of a building once home to the Ottoman Empire administration, a theater company is making its own mark on history. The Arab Hebrew Theater Jaffa hopes to bridge the gap between 2 historically hostile groups, Israeli Jews and Palestinian Arabs.
We don't want to discuss with religion, but with the languages. Of course, the idea of the theater is meeting between cultures. The populations are divided.
Here in a community in Tel Aviv where Jews and Arabs are living together, Jaffa Theater Company has made it its mission to produce shows in both Hebrew and Arabic as a way to bring those cultures together. And they're located in one of the oldest seaports in the world.
We are in the Middle East. We are not in New Jersey, Israel is part of the Middle East, and this culture is our culture.
Jaffa Theater emphasizes the importance of understanding different cultures and learning how to coexist. It's a delicate task given the political undertones of almost all public speech in Israel. The Israeli government recently challenged the legitimacy of the company's productions. Minister of Culture Miri Regev called the work, quote, terrorism, questioning the theater's intentions and threatening to take away subsidies. Ezra T. says the Ministry of Culture is uncomfortable with ideas that aren't part of what they call the Zionist narrative.
If you say something which is against the policy of the government shouldn't give money. And we say that the freedom of speech is the first law of art.
The government later decided Jaffa Theater was exercising its right to freedom of expression. And for those who argue the material performed is anti-Israel, The theater also produces shows empathizing with Israelis.
We had another show that people said to me, before we thought every time we saw Israeli soldier, we thought that this is complete evil. But now we see that he's also a victim.
The company's recent performance attracted students and faculty from 3 schools, including one from a town in the West Bank. These Israeli students are learning Arabic in school and went to Jaffa Theater to get more exposure to the language.
It's very important to know their language and to learn their culture, to know how to speak with them and to do a lot of things with them and beside them.
There is no difference between colors and all this, you know.
Renowned singer Ziv Yehezkel is an Orthodox Jew, born to a Moroccan mother and Iraqi father. He grew up speaking Hebrew, but he was introduced to Arabic music when he attended yeshiva, a traditional Hebrew school.
Everything is good if you know how to get to it, how to listen to it, how to appreciate it.
By art, you can forget all the fights and all the arguments. We're not talking politics, we're just doing art.
Reporting in Tel Aviv, I'm Olivia Hogan for the Center County Report.
5 years after that story first aired, the Jaffa Theater is still going. The next show is set for next week, a musical play in both Hebrew and Arabic.
A year after a protest turned ugly at Penn State over controversial speakers, Alex Stein and the Proud Boys founder returned to campus last night. This time it was a different location and a different outcome. Olivia Jean reports.
Hate him. I hate him. If I had a lighter, I'd burn this thing. Because I need to wake you brainwashed idiots up.
Alex Stein, best known for his controversial political commentary, came back to Penn State following frustrations that his event, which made national news, was canceled last year by Penn State due to security concerns.
The reason I want to come back is because there was so much chaos and I didn't get to speak, so it's kind of nice to put the saga to rest because they shut down free speech.
Dare to struggle! Dare to win! Chaos is right. Last year, when Stein visited, hundreds of protesters came to campus. Screams and shouts erupted with pepper spray launched into the large crowd, prompting Penn State to shut down the event. This year, press and police attended the event with no protesters in sight.
I'm sad that there weren't more protesters. We need more protesters.
In a statement released yesterday, the organization who planned the protests last year said they will not be organizing a protest this year and condemned Penn State for allowing this event to take place. Quote, "Shame on Penn State administrators for again enabling a neo-fascist agitator to get paid with students' money and using the lie of, quote, free speech to allow the spread of white supremacists, sexists, and anti-trans politics."
I don't expect exactly to have any crazy epiphanies. He's not going to step up there and be Shakespeare. That's not going to happen. This is almost a comedian event.
And there was a surprise guest. Proud Boys founder Gavin McGinnis joined Stein to speak on numerous political topics such as drugs, sexual orientation, the Israeli-Palestinian war, 9/11, race, immigration, education, and journalism.
They call us fascists, yet they want to shut down our free speech. That's actual fascism.
Uncensored America, a 3-year-old organization that fights for freedom of speech, live-streamed and sponsored the event. The comedy speech, followed by a Q&A, was held in the Bryce Jordan Center with approximately 50 people of all ages in attendance. Sean Semanko, the founder of Uncensored America, said the event was a success.
It went as best as we could have hoped for because we had people there that asked very interesting questions for the speakers.
Both speakers and Uncensored America stressed the importance of freedom of speech.
I hope I imparted the confidence to be skeptical. I hope I imparted a sense of critical thinking.
In America, we have this weird division now where if you don't like somebody, you move away from them, you don't talk to them, you ghost them, and you cancel them, censor them, and I think that's completely unhealthy.
Nobody can cancel me. I'm a pimp on a blimp, so if you try to cancel me, I'm going to come back stronger.
In University Park, I'm Olivia Jean for the Center County Report.
Uncensored America plans to hold more events in the future, with the next event on campus in the spring.
An off-duty pilot riding in the cockpit of a passenger jet is under arrest, accused of trying to shut down the engines in mid-flight. The Alaska Horizon airplane was on its way to San Francisco on Sunday when the crew had to subdue the off-duty pilot. The flight diverted to Portland, Oregon, and he's charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. The FBI is handling the investigation. A third person has died after a fiery crash involving a tanker truck in southeastern Pennsylvania over the weekend. It happened Saturday on the turnpike in Montgomery County. Police say a truck carrying jet fuel hit two stopped cars, closing the highway until early Sunday. The truck driver and the driver of one of the other cars died in the crash, along with a passenger. Some people who live right off the turnpike had to be evacuated.
Pennsylvania's budget stalemate continues today, but there is some progress. A bill now on the governor's desk makes $63 million in state funding available for hospitals, emergency medical services, and nursing homes. But the divided House and Senate still haven't agreed on a big part of the $45 billion budget that's hung up in Harrisburg.
And lawmakers are trying to push through a change to next year's election calendar, but it's still not a done deal. The State House passed a bill to move up the primary 1 week, from April 23rd to the 16th. Some Republicans want the date moved into March to make the state's late primary more competitive in the presidential primaries. But critics say that would make it hard on counties to change plans.
It's going to feel a bit like summer this week. We check the 7-day forecast coming up.
Plus, where to go tonight for some early trick-or-treating? Also, coming up, using dogs as a new and positive way to help people in need. We'll explain more after the break. A Boalsburg man faces charges accused of recording women as they showered in a Penn State dorm. 24-year-old Jinyu Lee has a preliminary hearing scheduled tomorrow. Police say he recorded the women in Hamilton Hall.
Mount Nittany Medical Center has introduced a new program where people can share their love for pets in a healthcare setting. The new pet therapy program is aimed at helping both patients and staff. It began after research indicated the benefits of pet therapy in a medical environment. The dogs in the program are tested and certified, and volunteers bring them for 1-hour shifts at the hospital.
Penn State's Thon Dance Marathon isn't for another 4 months, but students were busy over the weekend doing their part for the cause. The annual Thon 5K took place Sunday as families, students, and volunteers laced up and ran for the charity event. Thon is a 46-hour dance marathon in February that raises money for childhood cancer support and research. The 5K is just one event of many before the big weekend. The morning started cold, but the racers ran with support from those Thon families and children, and a little help from that Nittany line too.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm student meteorologist Jeremy Laguerre here for your forecast and taking a look above Penn State, taking a look above Beaver Stadium right now. You can see clear skies. We do have those leaves changing colors. It's honestly a pretty typical fall day, and it's a beautiful day as well. You honestly really can't ask for much more at this time of year. 59 degrees right now with sunny, beautiful skies. Winds out from the southwest at 7 miles an hour. We have a little bit of a breeze out there, but like I said, it's a very nice start to the week. We are clear. Temperatures are approaching 60 today. We're going to be having those above average temperatures. We'll even be approaching 70 as we go throughout the week. And weekend showers. We do have that chance once again during this weekend of those weekend showers, but that's for later. Now, taking a look at our local temperatures here in the State College area, we're generally in the 50s and 60s. We have a few warmer spots, places like Johnstown right now, 64 degrees. And as we zoom out across the Commonwealth, 50s and 60s. We're actually slightly warmer to our west right now, pushing 70 in places like Erie and Pittsburgh. Now, taking a look at our almanac, because we are going to be above average this week. The average for today, October 24th, 58 degrees is the normal high for today. Now, as we go throughout the week, we're going to be pushing 75 as we go into Thursday and Friday. So we're going to be around 10 to 15 degrees above average for this week. Now, taking a look at our radar down to the mid-Atlantic all the way up to the northeast, as you can see, we're mostly clear, a few showers to our north, but overall for the next 12 to 18 hours, we should be looking clear and dry. But as we go into this evening, you can see mostly clear evening with temperatures dropping into the 50s. As we go into Wednesday, you see those clouds are going to move in, and those clouds are going to stick around as we go from Wednesday into Thursday. You can see those clouds just continuously moving into our area with those above average temperatures on Thursday. Now, as we go into Friday, you can see these clouds are around, and we can't rule out the chance of a shower Saturday into Sunday. As you can see, Sunday, that's when this large system of rain is going to move in our area, and we'll most likely be having widespread showers here in Pennsylvania on Sunday. But for today here in State College, 67 degrees is the expected high with mostly sunny skies. We're going to drop down to the 40s tonight with a low of 47, increasing clouds as the night goes on. And as we go into tomorrow, 72 degrees is the expected high for tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, nice start to the week with temperatures in the high 60s. We're going to bump up a little bit as we go throughout the week with temperatures being in the mid 70s as we approach the weekend. As we go into Saturday and Sunday, that's when that system of rain is going to move into our area. Showers are most likely Saturday night going into Sunday. We can't rule out the chance of a shower, however, on Monday as well. We're in the 60s for the start of next week.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's a little bit of like summer weather, a little bit.
Let's hope it stays this way for the football game this weekend. And now to Mac with sports.
Coming up in sports, Penn State football suffered its first loss of the season. We take a look at what went wrong for the Nittany Lions. Also, we head to Tyrone to check out some high school football and the After the Whistle Game of the Week. I'm Mac Young with sports. Penn State will try to regroup this week after a devastating loss at Ohio State on Saturday. It's the first loss of the season for the Nittany Lions, and a lot went wrong against the Buckeyes. Penn State went into Columbus with program-changing aspirations. It left with another season-defining loss. Despite plenty of big defensive stands, including a fourth down stop by Zachy Wheatley and Jalen Reed, the Penn State offense could not move the football. Down 13-6 in the fourth quarter, Lions quarterback Drew Aller was unable to complete a pass on fourth down, allowing the Buckeyes to score the finishing blow via superstar receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. The Nittany Lions offense scored just one touchdown in the game, coming in with just 29 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The offense finished with an astonishing 1 for 16 on third downs. Penn State has now lost 7 straight to Ohio State, and head coach James Franklin is 1-9 all-time against the Buckeyes. The Lions dropped in the latest AP poll from 7 to 10. Now the team is to regroup for Saturday's home game against Indiana, and they still have Michigan looming in less than 3 weeks. This Saturday is a noon kickoff at Beaver Stadium. You can listen to the game live on Penn State Com Radio, with coverage beginning at 11 a.m. from the broadcast team at Beaver Stadium. Turning now to high school football, the State College Little Lions suffered another loss over the weekend. Cumberland Valley beat them 17-10. Also in the Friday lineup, Penns Valley traveled to Tyrone, and that was our After the Whistle Game of the Week. Jenna Wisman reports.
Tonight's game was personal for Tyrone. Last season, they fell to Penns Valley 28-21 after leading 21-7 the first 3 quarters. Penns Valley scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, pulling off an amazing comeback win. The Golden Eagles wanted to make sure that tonight's outcome was different.
And we knew that they're never out of a game, and they proved that last year against us. I mean, we had a 21-7 lead going into the fourth quarter, and they just came back and took it right from us.
It's been a muddy night at Gray Veterans Memorial Field, but that did not stop the Golden Eagles from redeeming themselves and dominating against the Rams.
Their D-backs were playing super far back, so I was able to, it opened up a lot of space, and our offensive line didn't let up anything. We had so much time to throw the ball, so that really helped.
Receiver number 10, Andrew Weaver, had 2 out of Tyrone's 5 touchdowns on the night. His first touchdown of the game was a 46-yard reception late in the first quarter. From that point on, Weaver never missed a beat, catching deep balls left and right and receiving an 83-yard touchdown pass, making the score 20-0.
In every phase of the game, we're trying to get better each week. And what we need to do is we've got to continue to work on our running game. We think that's been the key for us all year. We've run the ball pretty well. You can see that we're coming together. I mean, we still have a long way to go.
You can see highlights and post-game reaction from high school games around the area on After the Whistle. That's Friday night at 11:30 on our Belisario Student Media YouTube channel. Penn State men's hockey opened its first home series with a split over the weekend against AIC. The Nittany Lions won Game 1 3-2 after coming back from a 2-1 deficit in the third period. Freshman Aiden Fink scored his first collegiate goal to tie the game, with transfer defenseman Tanner Pulasic scoring the game winner with less than 5 minutes to go in the third. Game 2 was a different story though, as AIC won 6-4. Penn State was able to tie it at 4 goals apiece with a Reese Lawback goal, but AIC scored 91 seconds later. Penn State now takes on Alaska Anchorage Thursday and Friday at home. Penn State women's volleyball hits the road to Michigan this week. They're coming off a split over the weekend at home. They beat Iowa on Friday. Then the Lions hosted Purdue on Sunday for the annual Dig Pink match. They came out strong, winning the first set 25-18. Outside hitter Jess Merzick was dominant and broke her career high in kills, which now sits at 27. But that wasn't enough for the Nittany Lions. It was a close battle, but the Boilermakers came out on top, winning the final 3 sets. It's almost basketball season already. Believe it or not, the Penn State men's team begins play in a couple of weeks. Coach Mike Rhodes sat down with the media to give a glimpse into their preparations for the upcoming season. Alyssa Wagner has more.
I'm in it for the long haul. I'm excited about that.
After former coach Micah Shrewsbury accepted the head coaching position at Notre Dame, Penn State's roster was sparse. 7 players graduated and 4 transferred, leaving 5 players on the team. Kanye Clary, Jameel Brown, Demetrius Lilly, Dan Conlon, and Andy Christos. But what made these Nittany Lions stay?
I think just with like the pieces that's on this team, it's just going to kind of make everybody.
Coach Rhodes brought stars Ace Baldwin Jr. and Nick Kern Jr. with him after making the transition from Virginia Commonwealth University.
I'm just here to just leave just to be on a winning team, push the guys, compete every day, and just like I said, just winning.
After losing 11 players, Coach Rhodes and his staff had to make a roster basically from scratch. One key player they gained was Puff Johnson.
The fact that I saw that his reputation of being a winner, seeing the guys that were here like Ace and Kanye, it made me really want to be a part of this family.
Coach Rhodes gave an inside look to a Nittany Lion practice. The team showed off their 3-man weave, 2-on-2 drills, game time situation drills, and even some dunks. Coach Rhodes is looking to take his team to March and beyond.
Wait and see.
Head coach Mike Rhodes and 10 new Nittany Lions will make their debut against Robert Morris this Friday in an exhibition game in support of Coaches vs. Cancer. In University Park, I'm Alyssa Wagner for the Center County Report.
The first regular season game is on November 6th at home against Delaware State. That's all for sports. Now back to you guys, Tim and Angelica at the desk.
Thanks, Mac. And you're right. I mean, hoops are right around the corner with even the NBA starting off today. But coming up next, a historic Penn State venue is giving out some tasty treats. Find out where after the break.
Tonight, the Penn State All Sports Museum will host its 13th annual Trick or Treat Night. From 6 to 8 p.m., Penn State student athletes and others will hand out candy and greet guests outside the museum on Curtin Road. The cheerleaders and Nittany Lion will also be there. The event is free to the public and food donations are accepted. All donations will go to help the Lion Pantry.
And that's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.